Hello, you may be wondering why we're presenting next to this sticker wall and its list of achievements. It's because today another major achievement has been unlocked. I finally bought a new ventilator to dampen the moisture on my timbers, and I can add that to my long list of great things that I've done in life. As you can see, one time I was a star student. This was for passing the English test in kindergarten, so that's why have been deported. Obviously, just dip it, classic achievement. It's not sexual, but you gotta dip the bus ticket when you get on the bus. This is Padme Amidala, childhood crush, what I've always wanted, never could achieve. And this is Hawaii, where I grew up in. Also my achievement, all just me, and many smiley faces, and an elephant. So we will add to this list one day. We will put the ventilator sticker on, but first we have to install it. But in order to install a ventilator, we have to unbox it. So this is the unboxing video for my new ventilator moisture dampening system to prevent moisture accumulating on the timbers.
I don't know who watches these unboxing videos. For some reason, there is an appeal to just seeing a collection of boxes and what is inside those boxes. It's popular, but I don't know why. Maybe you like seeing new products. Maybe you like living vicariously through my collection of ventilators. Maybe it's the thrill of fighting with a box, unclasping the cardboard hinges and marveling at the physicality and texture of said boxes. If you consider this primetime entertainment, that's great. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but I had a far more important task at hand: dampening the moisture of my timbers. For too long, my timbers have been soaked in the fluids and liquids of life, ranging from rain to, well, that's just really, it's really only rain. But the rain soaks my timbers, and that just won't do. I cannot live like this. Every moment that my timbers are not dry is another moment their fibres are expanding, making them more flexible and less liable to break. How can I torch my dwelling for insurance money in such a case? Imagine if my timbers were dry and untouched by moisture. I reached out to Bert AU on eBay to help me out. He's a great guy. He's not paying me to say this at all. With a diverse range of miniatures for good prices across many scales. But most importantly, he had a ventilator for sale. I've linked his store in the description, so take a look if you want to start a new army. The journey of the Bradford Ventilation System is one fraught with peril and danger, which I now recount with the safety of distance and the wisdom of age. In 1062, at the siege of Kuriyagawa, as the Minamoto clan was on the cusp of victory, they were eagerly waiting to seize the Bradford Ventilation System to drive their own timbers, but they were all of them deceived, for the Bradford Ventilator System was hidden and shipped across the oceans just in time to get 5 stars on the delivery feedback rating on eBay. The daimyo of the Minamoto was reputed to have screamed, quote, "What the absolute cock-mongling shit," end quote, upon hearing this news. His cruelty, malice, and will to dominate all life was dampened by the moisture from his timbers, cooling his rage with a cold island song, and he retired to live out his days as a monk and part-time prostitute on the island of Sado. Eons passed. Inflation ensured that the ventilator only got more valuable, rising from 10 yen to 30 Prussian francs to 200 Persian darics to 3,000 US dollars, the value of a hamburger in America in 2035, until finally it arrived to my unassuming, moist hands, soon to be dry. This is the story of that unboxing.
Oh look, my Bradford ventilation system has arrived for prevention of excess moisture that could damage roof timbers. I've always been passionate about preventing moisture and my roof timbers
roof timbers are my specialty. So I'm going to make sure I unpack this and prevent that excess moisture from moistening my timbers.
Okay, well, now I have received my Bradford Ventilation System, and I'm carrying the scissors. I'm not a serial killer. I need something to open the box, and so I will now unpack. This is an unboxing of the Bradford Ventilation System to moisten my house.
Let's get unboxing. Here's the Bradford Ventilation System, and we're gonna try to unbox it now. Do you think it'd be open better with a sword?
Sure.
Okay. This is take 2 of the opening the ventilation. I realize that the sword will be a better opener because of the better heft, better weight, and longer reach in combat situations. So now I'm gonna open this ventilation system, prevent the excess moisture, moistening of my roof timbers. Very important. Okay, here we go. All right. You can see, boy, there's a eons long blood stain from past battles of the Yasugi clan samurai. I can't really chop the ventilator because like if that happens, I'm like I'll damage. Then I can't moisten my timbers. How can you adequately moisten your timbers if you don't? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's held together by staples. This is the longest combat situation I've been in. Usually things get resolved in about 20 seconds. There's a lot more liquids. This thing defeats even the trusty Marvel Blade the Vampire Hunter. Oh, let's get it. Okay. 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 Okay, here we go. I'm gonna moisten those timbers. Trying to prevent no more roof damage. No more excess warping of the. Okay. Oh, there we go. Residential turbine ventilator installations. Very, very handy for later. We're gonna installation guide strap. This is not a ventilator.
As the Minamoto clan had been betrayed by the Yasugi who had whisked away their ventilator, so did history repeat. Ah oui, très bien, très bien. No ventilator. No ventilator at all. Only miniatures. I wished at least for pizza for my efforts. Hawaiian, meat lovers, pepperoni, Hawaiian, supreme. But no, only miniatures. I sit in the dampness of my own unmaking. Never will I be dry. My roof is collapsing from extreme moisture. Are these tears? It is merely the rain, dripping from my soaking timbers. Actually, it's from the rain falling in from where my collapsed roof used to be. There is nothing hindering it now. No timbers, no nothing. Nothing more to distinguish, like tears in the rain. Maybe the ventilator is still inside the box. I'm gonna have to look through every single box of miniatures to see if the ventilator is smuggled in the parts. Maybe the parts are inside the individual mini boxes. Maybe there's a pizza for my efforts. Who knows? Who knows? We're gonna go through every box. Okay, we're gonna find that ventilator. We gotta dry my timbers. The first set, the Zvezda ancient Egyptian infantry. Let's get it out of the packaging. Look at it, coming straight out of the packaging. The anticipation of plastic and ventilator bits. Look at the sculpted detail of the command set. The Pharaoh, very crisp. And the infantry, you get a few duplicate poses, that's inevitable. There we go, still dynamic. Over there you can see that there's options. The swordsman, there's no options, but still good figures. Great figures. Well sculpted. Ventilator wasn't inside, but we must not lose hope. There's always another box. This is the Zvezda Cataphracts set. This was out of production for a while. I think they relatively recently brought it back. I mean, with the Ukraine war, nothing is brought back. It's all kind of OOP now. Very hard to buy online. I mean, they still make it, but embargoes and things. Oh, here we go. I've always loved the details of Zvezda sculpts. You can see here, look at the armor and the horses. Oof. The raised swordsman. Yeah, beautiful figures. Here we have some close-up detail of you can see the individual armor plates, the scale plates for the cataphracts. Immense detail of the armor in general. You can see the wind sweeping through the helmet plumes. The standard bearer, the command figure, just very detailed on the horse armors, the rider armors. Just great figures. You can see the individual lamellar plates, the cape, the folds in the cape. Great figures. And here we have the Cossacks, another Zvezda set. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but the great box art. You can see the painted examples. I often use that as a reference to how I paint my own figures. In the 200 years it'll take to finish my whole collection. And let's get it out of the packaging. Now, it doesn't feel like a ventilator. That's an instruction manual, not for ventilators. But you never know, it's, more plastics. Crisp Zvezda plastics. Yep, again, great, anatomically great figures, horses. You get the carriage. The horses are dynamic. The haircuts, their clothing are all authentic. Zvezda is a Russian company, so they tend to get the Russian, era, geographic place miniatures correct. Usually very good. So you kind of get, good spin on Russian-centric figures, like medieval Russians and so forth. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you get the instruction manual. I'm going to fold it away. Time to get the next box. What do we get? What are we going to get? Let's get looks like another Zvezda set. Are these Romans? Yes! Republican Rome infantry. It feels like Christmas, really. We're opening all the packages. So I bought these ones pre-painted by the seller, Bert AU. Let's see how good his painting is. Okay, it's pretty good. You get the washes over the standard base coat. Very, very good for time saving, honestly. I don't have enough time, so this is kind of good. I can touch up with my own highlights and my own detail work later. That's how I like to paint anyway. I wish I could do more of that, but with Warhammer you can go over pre-painted miniatures on eBay, and then I used to like to just touch up on that. But with 1/72, most miniatures are not painted because ancients and medieval are not a popular period for that scale, so I have to do most of it myself. So this is a nice welcome change. You can see again, great sculpting on the Zvezda Romans. I'm gonna fold that away. And still, there is no ventilator. But perhaps here. Gothians. I mean, it says Gothic Cavalry on Plastic Soldier View, but Gothian is on the box. Gothians! Alright. Let's get that open. I'm opening with one hand, by the way. Not because I'm... My other hand is holding the camera, not doing other things. Okay, so let's try to get those close-ups. Yeah, Italeri tend to make decent figures, I think. Hat are usually around the worst, in my opinion, but Italeri are quite good. You can see the folds of the cloak and the clothing, the chainmail, the dynamic pose, the spear thrust. Just generally great figures. Yeah. Still not as good as Caesar's, but still good. Yep, get another one. Another shot. Yes, the endless boneyard of figures. Italeri sculpts. Set aside in another pile. I believe this is Sylvester again. There we go. Oh, Strelitz? Yeah, the Strelitz infantry. Yeah. So, another period I'm kind of interested in. One day I might make these. Opening with one hand. Other hand is not down my pants. There we go. Command set. And you get the lovely plastic sprues. The detailed Sylvester sculpting. Here we go, the command sprue. You get the flag. The detail on these, honestly, some of the best. Dynamic poses as well. You get the iconic axe, the Streltsy axe. Uniforms look historically accurate. Just the proportions are great. The sculpting is good. Sylvester figures, honestly still my favorite 172nd company, even to this time. They just make great figures. I mean, Linear A and Caesar are solid contenders, but Sylvester, just for the beauty of their sculpts and their range, great models. See here, yeah, the clasps on the coats. The faces are good, the boots, the standard. Yep. Alright, here we go again. What are we doing? Celts. Yeah, I have a history of those. Celtic cavalry. I've already made these. So, you know. But good to have more, I suppose. The brilliant box art, though. Yeah, I've always loved that box art. Like the way they're charging across the river. Very dynamic. Let's get it out of the packaging. The standard Italeri bone white plastics are in abundance. Great sculpts as usual. Lots of flesh, bare chests, which is iconic of the Celts. Not as dynamic as I would have hoped. Like, they're fairly straight, you know, like riding straight. But the horses are very dynamic, though. They're kind of usually pushing forward. A couple poses are kind of waiting on the wings. Still good. Still great figures. Next box. Sumerians. I have never done Sumerians. I now have Sumerians. That's cool. It's a hefty box. Really stuck together. Must be a lot of minis inside. Here we go, fighting with the box, the tough Sumerian boxes. Tough as nails, like the nails that they wear on their clothes. Here, you see they really pack the sprue with lots of figures. A lot of duplicate poses too. What I like about the Sumerians, I suppose, are their cloaks. They've got like kind of like, not brigandine cloaks, but cloaks of like studded metal bits on them. And then the shields also have metal studs. So you kind of have this running theme of like knobs on the figures, I suppose. Alright, Assyrian allies? Yeah, allied infantry. Yeah, alright. I don't know when I'll get to the biblical era. I'd really like to get to it at some point. But medieval, ancients seem more of a priority. Hat figures are usually not that great, and you can see like they're not as crisp as the Zvezda sculpts. Again, a lot of duplicates, but I mean, they offer more range for the hobbyist if you're trying to make an Assyrian army. I mean, they specifically make allied infantry. That's, you know, more selection. All right, Gothic infantry. All right, guess I'm doing a Gothic army now. I have the cavalry already. Hats Gothic infantry, and it comes in a bag. Okay. Well, we are getting this. We're getting the bits out of the sprue. So let's look at some individual sculpts. Yeah, they're decent. You can see they're kind of more stocky. The detail isn't as fine as a Zvezda sculpt, a Caesar sculpt, even a Linie A sculpt. But they'll do. They fill out the ranks when you're trying to build an army, which is important. I like to have diverse poses. I'm not the kind of guy that has like the same pose replicated 8 times on a base. Oh, here we go, another one. We got a lot of Gothic infantry. This one comes on a sprue. Yeah. Decent sculpts. I mean, I guess I get some cavalry there. I mean, yeah. It's about as much as they're worth. Yeah. Assyrians, infantry. Alright, so the bulk, the backbone of the Assyrian army. We get quite a lot. You get the shields. You get a lot of shields. That's nice. You get a diverse range of different, spearmen, slingers, and so forth. The detail isn't great. Again, it's hat. Like, they do what they can. They're like kind of, like acceptable. They're acceptable. Sometimes you just need to make an army, and they have the troops you need. Alright. Another hat set, the Parthian cataphracts. So they're specific about which cataphracts this time. And okay, they do good box art. Let's try to find some positive. They're decent figures. I'm being too harsh. Like, they're okay. Some hats is okay. They're okay. Like, and they're usually the cheapest. They're cheaper than Zvezda usually, especially now the whole Russia-Ukraine war. Yeah, let's take a look at some close-ups. There we go. See, like, obviously the detail is a bit smudged. It's not as crisp, not as straight forward as the Zvezda ones. A bit more stocky, a bit more blocky, but they'll do. Especially like viewed at a distance when you're playing games, like, it doesn't even matter that much. And honestly, it still stacks up well against the Zvezda set, but to me the detail just isn't as fine. This looks like another hat set. There we go. Alright, Carthaginians. African infantry. Another one. Okay, let's do it together. Doing it together? Yes. Shake it out. Alright. You can see here the kind of like, I found like hat sets, they kind of mold it, like to create the infantry in a single mold, so you kind of get these like poses, which is good for the mold, so like the shields are kind of held out, but maybe not the most practical when fighting, but it's still okay. Shields are blank, letting you freehand. Some people like that, some people don't. I don't mind it. I can freehand. That's not a flex. Details okay on them, I guess. Here we go, another box. Oh, these the other Persians. What are they called? The ones with the big hats. Big hats. Sassanids. Yeah, the Sassanids. So the Levy infantry. Here we go. We're gonna complete with the Parthians. Let's take a look inside. Yeah, I've never owned Sassanids before. I'm not sure if I ever should start the army. The clothing, I suppose, it's acceptable. Like, there's still folds and it looks like cloth material. To be honest, like, no other companies make Sassanids, so hat is your only choice unless you're converting. But 3D printing is starting to become a thing, so who knows? Maybe one day there'll be a good 3D print of these. But in the meantime, 172nd Sassanids hat is what you have to play with. So the light infantry, the archers probably. Yeah, let's take a look inside. These are small boxes. These boxes are a lot smaller than other infantry boxes. Okay, yeah, decent poses. Like they get, you get what you expect. You know, the firing archers, the slingers, the javelineers. About what you expect. Okay, all right. Let's open first one of these bags. These second-hand bags, the goodie bags. I think this is the medieval Europe set. Yep. Alright. So we got some knights. I believe these are the Teutonic Knights? Or Crusader Knights. One of them. I'm pretty sure they're made by Italy. Pretty sure. The details good, of course. The barding's great. Yeah, that's a dynamic sculpt. This is, I think, 100 Years War English. Yep, I think. Yeah, barding's good, of course. The armor's good. Yeah, armor's very good. Yeah, for Zvezda set. Yep. Yeah, great detail on the helmets. On the cloth tunics. Still English? Might be French. I think they're English. Yeah, you can see the coat of arms on the helmets. Very good. Chainmail. Oh, the coat of arms on the barding. Fantastic, right? You don't have to freehand it. You can just paint on top. Gives you like a guide. Yeah, very good. The shields are lovely too. Expected from Zvezda set. Beautiful armor. And this is a rare set. The 100 Years War English Infantry. You don't get that. You don't see that anymore. It was kind of OOP, out of production. OOP for a long time. You get the longbowmen. And the baseless stakes. A lot of the figures are no longer there because it's second hand, but still glad to get this set. This is very, very rare now. So maybe I'll use someone. This is Italy. I believe Italy 100 Years War Knights and Infantry. I think that's a combined set where you get Knights and Infantry. I need to check that again. But yeah, very dynamic on the barding. The sculpts are great. I think the poses are a bit more stiff than Zvezda's, but still very good. Still very good. Better than hats, so no complaints really. There we go. Another shot of the infantry. Okay. Another another goodie bag. Okay. Knights. French. I think they're French. Yep, they're French because of the crossbowmen. I remember the mounted crossbowmen. That's what distinguishes this set. So that's the mounted crossbowmen for the 100 Years French. I don't really know much about this period. I should look into it. But yeah, the sculpts, of course, always good. I remember this set used to be quite cheap. There were just a lot of them on the internet. A couple of years ago. I think we're talking like 5-6 years ago now. This was pre-COVID, but yeah, 100 Years War French Infantry, I think. Yeah. There was a period where 172nd sets, even made by Zvezda, were just abundant and cheap, and then the whole COVID and hyperinflation and everything made everything scarce and expensive. So 172nd used to be like the cheapest scale. Maybe it still is the cheapest, but everything's kind of expensive now. What are these? Romans? Yeah, Zvezda Romans. Zvezda Romans. I think Zvezda's Romans actually not the best Romans you can get. They come with the testudo formation, which is, like, if you're looking for that, that's nice. But I wasn't. I kind of like the infantry fighting. For my basic impetus, like I like to have like 8 figures on a base. The detail's fine, but honestly, Caesar's Romans I think are far better. There's more variety. They're I like the proportions more. I think like sometimes the heads or shoulders here look kind of bulky. Another box, bag. This one's really stuffy, full of stuff. Okay, Romans. Are they hat? I think they're hat. They're not artillery, no. It must be hat. I'm pretty sure they're hat. Yeah, they're okay. Like, I mean, the faces are quite good. You can see the detail on the helmets. The Lorica segmentata is okay. You get the lion helmet on the musician. The shields don't have detail. You know, standard for hat. Alright, let's work through the bags. This is the bunch of ancient. Oh, that's ancient Britons. They're the Gauls, the hat Gauls, ancient Britons. Ethics? I think they're ethics. Yeah, I didn't own this figure before with the winged helmet actually, so I'd like to add that to a Celtic army at some point. Sumerians. Now we also have more Sumerians. Lovely. That's what I wanted. That's what I needed. More Sumerians. Okay, Javelineers, Spearmen, Sumerians. Okay, the pile is growing smaller. Let's take out this one. More spruce. I think these are Romans. Yeah, Imperial Romans? Yes. Wait, are they? What are these things? Oh, these are cataphracts. These are cataphracts. Romans have rectangular, like that weird shape. I don't know. Alright. Sometimes it's hard to tell. More painted Republican Romans. I guess he couldn't have fit them all in the box. Painting's decent. Yep, just some unpainted sculpts. More Romans. Just a lot of Romans in the bag. Getting those Romans out of the bag. Another bag. I believe this is a late Roman hat cataphract made by Hat. Yeah, that's another Roman, but that's probably Imperial Roman Auxiliary. And this is not Zvezda. You can kind of see by the sculpt. That's like a Strelitz figure. Looks like a Roman. I think the Bactrian allies of the Romans. That was a set. It's probably those, or some barbarian cavalry set. You know, the sculpting is very characterful. Yeah, you can kind of tell like when the proportions are kind of different with the Strelitz sets. Full of character. Probably not anatomically as correct, but they're fun. They're fun figures. You can, you know, they've got yeah, they've got soul. So. Okay, another bag of a mix. Looks like a mix this time. Javelins, or the Roman throwy javelins. What are they called? I forgot. Yep. Okay. So Romans. So there's the Romans. Are those Romans? There's a horse. Romans. Barbarians. Yeah, I think Eski made the barbarian set, which were basically just ancient Germans. Happy to use them as Celts at some point, or maybe I don't really want to start an ancient Germans army because I decided I wanted my barbarians role to be filled by Dacians. I'll make a Dacian army at some point. Okay. Okay. Romans. Imperial Romans. Probably Strelitz. Because Strelitz made a whole bunch of Romans in battle, waiting for battle. Like there are multiple in battle sets, multiple waiting for battle sets, marching sets. just filling out every kind of pose they would need. So good on Strellis for making those sets. I think they're just more Romans. Alright, the pile's getting smaller. Okay, what's in another baggie? This is very inflated, lots of air, a lot of empty contents. Here we go. Ah, okay, look, sometimes the Zvezda sculpts, I mean, you know, they're great, they're still great. There's obvious detail on the armor. Bit heroically proportioned though, I think Caesar's proportions are better. Alright, another bag, mixed bag. Fighting with the bag attachment, fighting with the opening. Imperial Roman allies. They're the archers that they hired. Are these? I don't know what. Some kind of ancients. It's starting to feel like a lot of minis, you know? Like I'm reaching in a lot. I think these are cataphracts. I'm pretty sure these are cataphracts. The horses are very armored. Hats? Parthian cataphract horses? I think. There we go. You can see the miniature scales on the barding. Arms are getting tired, but we must keep going. Open another baggie. Can't stop the addiction. More Romans. Just a bunch of Roman shields and stuff. Accessories. I guess handy if I ever lose some shields, I guess. Okay. Alright, what's this? I believe just a bunch of shields. Assyrian? There's a few Assyrian-like shapes. Are they all Assyrian shields? I know, it's just a lot of shields. Ah, you need shields! You need shields to protect your men. Protect your lives from the bullets. Okay. Ah, these are mounted on wooden bases? Are these wooden? No. Oh no, it's another mixed bag of different companies. I see the Zvezda Carthaginians, I think. Alright, so it's a mix of different things. It looks like Zvezda Carthaginians, some Assyrians, some undercoated Carthaginians by Zvezda. Great sculpts. Love the armors, the diverse armors. Okay. Here we go. Oh, these are mounted on bases. These are painted. Okay, I think these are Eski barbarians, but already painted and based, which will save me a lot of time. I intend to recycle and reuse. Painted barbarians, yes. The muscle. Look at the muscularity. The tunics. The aggressive, like waving the weapons over the head. Very barbarian-esque. Iconic poses. There we go. Look at that close up. Let's do the spinny dance. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're getting. This one, another close up. Is that what's on his head? Oh, okay, yeah, no, he's holding not a trumpet, an axe. Yeah, that's wash. That's a wash in the recesses of the flesh. Okay, alright, lots of wooden bases. Hefty. Let's take a look. Okay, these are Romans mounted on wooden bases. Yeah, so the previous owner was trying to probably make a wargame army, and which required like each man to be mounted on their own base. I prefer a multi figure base nowadays. I'm very far away from my Warhammer days. Alright. Oh, okay, I think these are Indians. They look like Indians. I've partially finished a Mauryan Indian army, so... Yep, okay, yep. So I'm familiar with these, the classical Indian cavalry. The goofy heads on the horses. Yep, okay. This system, obviously you can have two on one base. That's cool. Okay. I probably won't need these. I've already have my only Indian cavalry unit I need. But the sculpting isn't great, but who else makes classical Indians, you know? At least 3D printers are giving us options now, but like, back in the day, that was the only choice you had if you're trying to recreate Alexander the Great's campaign. Okay. Alexander Macedonian cavalry. Are they hat? Are they hat? Surely not. Zvezda. That's not Zvezda. I don't recognize that. The hat? Aren't hat sculpts meant to be garbage? I don't know. I think they're hat. They might be hat. Not all hat sculpts are garbage. I'm not being fair. Okay, so there we go. We only have the last bastion of boxes, the Great Wall of boxes left to conquer, and we're going to take the first brick out, and it's late Roman medium infantry. Okay, so sculpts aren't bad, you know, like they'll do. They're pretty good. Like, end of the day, like, they're cheap, they do what you need them to do, which is like fill out the ranks of a base or of a wargaming army. Can't really complain. Like, they generally look okay, and they do exactly what you need them to do. So there we go. Alright, and here's another one. I'm getting a lot of medium infantry. Yay! Let's not. It's fine. We know what's inside. Okay, so the heavy infantry. Okay, the ones with the gigantic shields. Why are the shields so big? The sculpts. I mean, the art makes them look really cool. You know, you get the crest, you get the chainmail, the stoic, and then you look at the figures and like these gigantic shields, impractically large shields, like holding like dinner plates. What is going on? I mean, a lot of surface area for freehand, but wow, the detail in the armor, it's not too bad. I think the chainmail could be more chainmaily, but otherwise the shields. They're not the best, I think. They're not my first choice. Caesar miniatures, there we go. First Caesar miniatures, the Hittite chariots. Hittites are very in vogue with the release of the new Total War. Pharaoh Total War. Let's take a look. You get the fantastic Caesar miniatures sculpting. Look at the detail, the individual lamellar plates. Ooh, the wheels, the raised hand guy, the detail of the wood paneling on the chariots, the bottom of the chariot, the folds of the cloth. Yeah, they're just anatomically correct, very detailed faces, great figures. Always love Caesar sculpts. Charlottes, pretty good art. I like that. Roman auxiliaries too, just in line, in formation, against the raining arrows. If you look at that, look at the sculpts, very characterful again. Something seems a little bit off about the proportions. Like, they don't seem completely anatomically correct, but like, they're still great figures. Like, they have character. That's what I like about them. Like, and different companies let you choose your own tastes. If you want 100% anatomically correct, you probably go for Caesar or Zvezda. You want something a bit more whimsical, Strelitz can do that. Hats, if you're broke. Roman Transport 2 Strelitz, yeah. I mean, I've always liked that set because it's not just warfare. You can have a bunch of like oxen and stuff, which is great for like diorama bases, maybe. I don't know. Can be handy for a lot of things. Sometimes you just need oxen, and then some civilian figures, which I've always wanted to use for like a Spartacus army. Just uprising of slaves, just some random collection of figures. Very, very characterful figures. Amphora too. Get some amphora vases. Woman and child. Yeah, just unusual figures. Good for have a lot of uses outside of the standard wargaming spectrum. Okay, another Charlotte set. Roman auxiliaries at battle. Here we go, yeah. Detail. I mean, there's detail, obviously. Still think proportions are little bit off, but acceptable within the range of human accuracy. If you saw someone on the street like that, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that can be a person. Yeah, I mean, they're still detailed. Yeah, still great sculpts. Sometimes the posing isn't perfect, but still fun. I think I'd rank Strelitz along a bit above Hat. Oh, here we go, the Batavian Cavalry in Roman Service. I knew that was a set. Made by Strelitz. Straight out of the packaging. Here we go. The pre-owned, so we don't... Oh. What else? What else is there? Well, stuff on my floor, too. Gotta clean that. Yep, alright. So, yeah, the rider's... Like, his torso seems too small for the rest of his body. It's kind of like a weird hunched pose. Like, keeping his arms too close to his hips. Some of these are dynamic. You know, but, yeah. It's like, sometimes the heads are too big. Obviously, the poses are designed to fit the mold. Like, for example, his arm is too close to his chest. But they're fine. They're fine. They're not perfect, but they're fine. They do. Gothic Cavalry, made by Hat. Plus, Colonial Indian Infantry. We're going to see if there's Colonial Indians inside. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Horses. I don't see Indians. Nope, no Indians. Okay, so... Barbarian-esque. Horses are pretty standard. You can see the sculpting quality. It's basic, but to be honest, what more? You don't need complexity for that kind of troop. They're just barbarian cavalry. Ancient Germans, I guess. No, I don't want to start a Hat Ancient Germans army. Yeah, the art is very colorful. Got a naked guy. Add some excitement to the game. Alright, so the weird ass proportions. Lanky. Very long arms. Very long legs. Kind of like daddy long legs of people. Wow. Okay, yeah. They're trying to be dynamic. There's a naked guy. You can see the wiener. Yeah. You know, like, at least the barbarians are dynamic. They're dynamically posed. They add variety to a base. Germanic Horsemen by Strelitz. There we go. Maybe I will start a German army. Very stylized box art. You can see the gnomish detail. Kind of like Smurfs. A bit like Smurfs. Very short. Fierce looking. Short people. Hobbits. And hobbity horses. But covered in the barbarian trappings and decorations. Ancient Germans by Strelitz. Again, more Strelitz. No Caesar. All linear A. If I started Ancient Germans army, I'd have to buy the linear A sets and the Caesar sets just for me. Like, I feel like my army would be incomplete, and I don't want to do that, so... There we go. They're okay. They have some character. At least they're all varied. You know, good thing about Strelitz boxes, they give you a lot of poses. A lot of the figures are different. Like, they might not be as good as Vesta, but you get a lot of different variety. I really appreciate that, actually. So there are strengths to every company. You know, Strelitz's figure diversity. I think there are sets of Strelitz I've seen there, like, every single figure is unique. But there's not like, it's not like 10 figures, there's like 40 figures, so it's impressive. The Caesar, whatever, that weird ancients, the starts with M. It's this is a strange set because like they only made the chariots box for this, and they never made any infantry. So you just have this random chariot that is unsupported with any other company, any other range. It's just this random chariot unit from this civilization. So. At least the Lamela armor is quite good. It's quite nice. reminiscent of the biblical times. I like the detail, but I don't know what I'd do with it. To just have it. Yeah. Alright, another Caesars. I love Caesars. Bedouin? Arab. Arab camel riders and Bedouin. There we go. Again, great anatomy. Very, very accurate. Caesar doesn't have to try very hard because it's just guys wearing robes, I guess, so lucky for them. The foundation of the wall, the last wall of miniatures, no ventilators. Here we go, back to hat. The hat is the bedrock as always. Hat. Late Roman medium cavalry. I've never owned this set before. So, great up box art though. Look at the light effect on the barding. Detailed armor on the horses. You can see the individual scales and plates on the armor of the riders, as well as the horses. End of the day, still very detailed. Does exactly what you need. I'm very appreciative. Okay, another set. Yep, the Indian infantry, classical Indian infantry by hat. I've already painted some of these. Yeah, they're just a bit blocky, but they give you the historically accurate details according to the carvings that have been preserved. So we have a rough idea of what they look like. You can see like the bundle of hair, could be a turban, at the front of the head, and the long shields, the distinctive bows. Yep, more Indian cavalry by hat. I painted this set. Again, bit stocky, bit blocky. But other than, Lucky Toys has this amazing set which has infantry and cavalry, so I kind of use that. But I also own this set, and there's I don't really need to make any more Indian cavalry, so just have it now. Yeah, very stocky. Yes, the Indian elephant set. So I guess the elephant in this set is not the best made elephant. It's just a bit cartoony, a little bit. I guess it could do. Like it could be realistic. I like the decorations on the head. The riders are okay. Yeah. Look like the cavalry, which isn't a compliment, but yeah, the decorations on the head marks it as an Indian elephant, and then the body, couple pieces. Yep. The hat Gallic command set. I've used this set before in my Ancient Britain's army. Let's take a look. There we go. The severed heads on the horses. The dynamic posing. These are still great figures. I quite like the command figures. They try to be dynamic. There's the druids, command, standard bearer. They just add variety, command variety. You might need that. Ancient Britain's by hat. I think this is repackaged. This is probably originally from another company. I don't take Airfix, but yeah. Ancient Britons. You can see they kind of look a bit hat-esque, to be honest, so it's kind of fitting that they took the original sculpts and repackaged it for themselves. The pile's growing. My own pile of used miniatures. And here we go to the hat Gallic Warband. I've never used this set in my original Ancient Britain's army, which was a regret because I didn't buy it because I didn't think I needed to, and I didn't. But I like to have as many sculpts as I can. So let's take a look. Oh, okay, yeah. They're not the best sculpts, which is why I avoided the original box. They're a bit they don't look that human. They're a bit long-legged, bit thin. The posing's a little bit weird, but it's just good to have variety. So one day, yeah, add to the pile. Yep, the Hat Gallic Chariot. I didn't get this set either. I got the Queen Gallic Chariot set. So you get some nice command figures, you can see, with the cape and the guy with the shield and the horned helmet. The chariot I've made, but the commands yeah, they're fierce. Barbarians all seem to be fierce. That's the archetype for them, just roaring a lot, yelling. Urgh. Really big pile now. Okay, I think we're getting close to the end. These are Assyrian cavalry. Here we go. Assyrian hats, Assyrian cavalry. Yeah, you get the standard hat sculpting. You get a standard level of detail. Yep. And the pile, the tower. It's like I'm dismantling the wall to build a tower. The two towers. We're not gonna have a 9/11 joke. It's not tasteful. Okay, the hat Dacians. It comes in a box. I mean, baggies for minis. Yep, there are not many poses for this set actually. A lot of duplicates. Not much pose variety. That's a problem with Hat. I feel like usually they don't duplicate. Too many duplicates. Strelets, Dacian cavalry. We have the opposite end of the spectrum. Lots of poses. Not enough duplicates. Yeah, you get I seem like sometimes the sculpts are a bit more ragged, but that kind of gives a character. It depends what you like. You like them clean or ragged, yeah. Yeah, like stocky, proportions a bit off. They seem a bit like, yeah. Work seems a bit raggedy. Not a bit more blocky, but some people like that. Yeah. Twin Towers. Yep, Dacians before battle. Had to bulk out the Dacians. I do intend to build a Dacian army at some point. Look at the art on that. Look at them about to, roaring their defiance against their Roman oppressors. There we go. They're very static poses, but that's because of the nature of the set. They're just showing off their weapons before the battle, at rest. You can see a lot of detail in the clothing and the hats. Yep. Yeah. It's getting tall. It's getting tall. Taller than me. Okay, what is this? There's a sprue of science fiction alien things. Okay, I'll take it. Whatever. I don't know what it is. Beyond the gates of Antares. Yeah. That's that XGW guy. Made that company. Okay, interesting. It's not 1/72nd. It's not a ventilator. But I have it now. Okay. I guess. So we're building the tower. Okay. Okay, another hat African infantry set. Here we go again. Again. I'm gonna stack that up here. Yep. Oh, there's three. There's three! Alright. Is this the last one? There's a hat, late Roman missile troops. Yep. Very common online. Lots of people apparently stock them. They've got too many of them. Trying to get rid of them. So, lucky. Yay. Yep, the uninspired posing of the hat troops. The adequate detail. Very static poses. Yeah, but they'll do. Again, they'll do. They're kind of like they'll do figures for the great two towers. Da 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 da. Cue Two Towers soundtrack. Okay, is that it? Are we done? Is there anything hidden inside the paper? Gotta look through the paper. I don't see anything through the paper. So, it was finally over. We have looked through all the boxes, and there is not a single ventilator inside. I want to thank Bradford Ventilation for their efforts in sending me a ventilator, and as a token of my gratitude, I've made a free advertisement that they can use for national television.
Bradford Ventilation.
They have been added to the wall of stickers in their honor.
Okay, so now we've explored the contents of the package drop, the new ancient miniatures that I'll be the collection which I've bought and which I'll be working with, and it's all very exciting because I love getting new miniatures. I don't do much with them because I paint so slowly, but it's nice to have them. But the most important thing is that I didn't get my ventilator, so now my house, the moisture, the timbers will now be moist, and so I can't live in the house. And so but luckily, this collection has a solution, an inherent solution, and we're gonna try it out right now. So my timbers are still moist, so obviously the house is unlivable. Luckily, getting the miniatures collection means I have my makeshift house right here. This is a 2023 inflation house. This is all we can afford right now, but it's fine because it's got a lot of comfortable bed litter. So it's time to this is the bed for the night. The 2023 inflation house, the great economy house. So we're gonna hold on. Okay, it's soft. It's got nice paper. I'm lucky that the Bradford Ventilation System provides the nice soft cushioning that a person needs to sleep when their timbers are moist. So yeah, so this is a great deal, really. I gotta get property out of it. So it's been a very fruitful endeavor. So I'm just gonna sleep now, I guess.
Hawaiian meat lovers. Pepperoni Hawaiian Supreme